Hey, Mr. Clash here with another NDL war recap. Spider Legion versus KORIDORAS. And this is in the, think about it, amateur division of NDL. Okay, so all Town Hall 9s wiped out by witches. So I don't have, yeah, just checking. Yeah, all Town Hall 9s were wiped out by witches. So basically, what I'm going to do is show the top 5 attacks pretty well. Town Hall 11 and 10s. So obviously you can see Spider Legion was defeated 70 to 69. 48 attacks out of 50. There were Town Hall 9s left. And the other team had 47. Two of those attacks are their upper echelon bases, but they both hit number 1 and there was nothing left for them to do because you can't dip in the NDL, no dip league. So what was the difference? 1 star, the difference. Have a look at the top 4 bases. Have a look at the top 4 bases. This was it. This little pesky bugger here. The number of Town Hall 11s that got 3-starred made the difference. So Town Hall 9's not deciding anything anymore, it seems. The Town Hall 9s are all wiping themselves out. I think they were all hit first, fresh hits. I don't know. I only had a brief look. I don't really know how many attacks were used on each, but anyway, let's just get into the attacks. So we've got this Town Hall 11 attack. As you can see, we've got hog babies coming in on this Town Hall 11. I might just move the screen up there. How's that? Siege machine as per usual. Baby dragon creating a nice little funnel on the right hand side. Wizards on the left hand side. And then siege machine going to break through a couple of walls. Look at all this DPS. 2 cannons, 2 expos. There's another 2 expos over there. Massive amounts of DPS onto that siege machine. King's going to hit it? No? Oh, who knows what the King's hitting. And it's broken through again. Surely the siege machine's got to pop any second. There it is. It's, oh no, still going. Geez, it's a strong siege machine at Town Hall 11, obviously, it seems. And balloon's gone down from Clear Castles. Siege machine's only just popped now. Couldn't really see what was out of it. Oh, Valks. Looks like I've got some Valks in there. Jump spell over to the CC and the Eagle Artillery. Let's see if anything actually goes over there. We know it was a 3-star attack. Will the Queen take the plunge over there? Or no, she's going to get lured away. That's all too far away. We've already seen her, got video of evidence of the Queen pretty well not being able to see the Eagle Artillery. Even though the Eagle takes up a certain amount of space, it's almost like the hitbox within the Eagle itself is not the same size as other things. It's like it's a smaller size hitbox. That's the impression you get. So even though it takes up that 4-tile area, it doesn't seem to even have the normal hitbox size of another 4-tile item, say like the lab. It's a smaller hitbox. So we have seen a Queen just walk straight past it because apparently it was out of her range. And of course I did have a video where we tested what the Queen was doing on the Eagle Artillery. Okay, or on other things as well of the same size, and the Queen can see it, but the Queen can't see the Eagle. So massive amount of hogs left on this base. Grand Warden's going to keep them all up. It's a little bit funny when the Grand Warden walks like that. He's just got the tip of his thing up. It almost looks like he's just walking around with one arm raised in the air, just sort of giving a little bit of a wave as he's walking. Anyway, that's what he does to me anyway when he's walking. When you see him from behind and you see a little tip of his Merlin staff sticking up in the air. Okay, so hogs at Town Hall 11. Let's go have a look at the other 4. Here we are, less than 2 minutes. Let's see how long. We're at minute 45. Let's see when the first troop goes down. And there we go, minute 42. So max Town Hall 10 getting wiped out in minute 42 would have been unheard of. Obviously before the siege machine, before the various nerfs and buffs and let's just call them balance changes that have come to the Town Hall 10 game, obviously with the Infernos being able to be healed through and all that sort of thing. Now everyone's Infernos are on single because it's basically made multi-Infernos pretty well useless. And if you want to have a hope of getting anything done, of course you go through the single. So jump, and basically just pummeling into the middle of the base. Now the interesting thing is that what we've been doing, you can see here how effective that free spell was. So the beauty of the free spell is that it doesn't just stop the Inferno Tower in its tracks, it neutralizes what the Inferno Tower was doing at the time, which in this case might have had a beam that was ready to just crank up to full power or something like that and really take something out. And it basically neutralizes that and sets the Inferno Tower back to startup mode again. Let's just call it, where it's got to start from scratch to get its power up cycle going. So even though the freeze at Town Hall 10 isn't really that great, if you take a maxed one in your CC, that's what we've been doing a lot lately, and the max one in your CC gives you just those few extra seconds of frozen Inferno. And look, in this game, 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 seconds, 9 seconds, 10 seconds, it's a massive amount of time in the game, especially when you consider an attack like this was only on for 1 minute and 42. Nice little Bow Witch with a free spell. Let's move on to the next one. And we've got another Bow Witch attack. Slightly different sort of thing, but you'll notice it is a free spell as well. It's not a Clan Castle donated free spell. The max free spell donated from 5 goes up to 7. And 7 is a max free spell, so you can take a max free spell in your Clan Castle, and it can be donated by a Town Hall 10, of course. So Siege Machine coming through. I'm not sure if it's in the range of that Inferno. Yeah, it'll just, looking at the pathing line from the machine to the Town Hall, it will get just in range of the Inferno, just in range. So I think that's it. The Inferno's locked onto it, so it's about to pop. There to go. It's popped. But there's a bit of a rage spell there, so what did we have inside? I think there was some Valkyries that were possibly inside, Valkyries and Barbs. Yeah, there were some Valkyries and Barbs that were inside. I'll just get that Inferno Tower's radius gone. And jump, rage. Got a heal spell left in the base. The King will take out a few more things. There we go. Nice little free spell onto that Inferno Tower. Just those few extra seconds makes all the difference to be able to get those Inferno Towers down. The single spot of the free spell now, of course, means that it can get used more often, because you can still have a poison and a free spell and something else if you wish as well. You can take the free spell in the CC with your one slot in the CC. We'll just speed this up because there's a minute left and there's only 25% of the base to go, so it's obviously a bit of a slow 3-star left on this particular attack. So when you look at it like this and you think, oh, you've got 3 witches and a bowler and the queen stuck inside, and there's a lot of, you've got the mortar splash damage coming, and then suddenly it's like, uh-oh, this is looking like it's going to be a 3-star anyway. The way that the Teslas are set up, as long as the 3 witches are spawning skellies slightly differently, Teslas just can't keep up with it. Too much DPS coming from the witches and too many skellies from 3 witches, definitely. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, again, we've got a little bit of a Bow Witch going on here. You can see that nice little troop combo. 2 golems, 8 witches, and 14 bowlers, with the Siege Machine acting as a 3rd golem, plus other things as well. When we looked at this base, we thought it looked a little bit similar to a base that I'd attacked with my Town Hall 10 and 3-starred, and pretty well coming in exactly the same way as what I did in the 3-star. Got a Skelly spell, 2 freezes in this particular attack, and let's just dive right into it. So just waiting for the golems to go down, and witches, got a couple more witches to get. That's it, all the witches are down now. Yeah, there we go, all down. Just get some extra bowlers coming in. Got to get a poison onto that enemy clan castle. I think he might have missed the baby dragon too. Yeah, I don't think the baby dragon got caught in the poison. So Siege Machine's coming in now. Siege Machine's going to crack a big hole through that. There wasn't a tremendous amount of point defense, as you can see. You've got 3 expos on the back end, so not a real huge amount of stuff in through that middle part of the base where the hole came in. So Siege Machine coming in. Now you can see how that Inferno had to reset. Now the other Inferno's beam is starting to crank up. Now luckily it didn't get onto the Siege Machine. It does have one more free spell left. May or may not use it. right away. So, oh no, Siege Machine is still going. So this Siege Machine is making massive amounts of headway through the base. Still up at this moment. Queen, bowlers, king, witches on both sides taking out some things. So there we go. The Siege Machine has popped and out come the troops. A couple of Valkyries, the usual sort of a troop. I think it was Valkyries in the if I saw that correctly. And the Queen's going to have to shoot the mortar, shoot down the dark drill up the top there. Witches on the right hand side down here. Going to try and take out that archer tower. So I'm not sure how much health that archer had. Oh, not too much health. So only a couple of little blasts from Witch Plasma. Drop the Skelly on the Teslas. Just see if the Tesla would have been in range of the Queen. Not quite. Not quite. So possibly could have not dropped it. But hey, you don't know that. You really don't know that. You really want to try and protect the Queen. So drop the Tesla and then you can hope that the Queen's going to make it. But you can see there was way too many troops. They were going to take it out anyway. So nice little 3-star from Andy Lock on that Town Hall 10 with another Bow Witch attack. The good thing about all these Bow Witches is that it at least shows that the base is susceptible to Bow Witch, so you can change it. Although sometimes changing your base, which because it got 3-star Bow Witch, is funny. I had a Town Hall 10 base and basically the Town Hall 10 3-starred my base and it lost us the war, and it was 3-starred with Bow Witch. So I brought the base into the clan. Like I friendly challenged it in the clan, and I said, hit that with Bow Witch. See if you can 3-star it, because I'd never seen it 3-star with Bow Witch except the fresh hit 3-star that lost us the war. And I don't know, they must have hit it 10, 12, 15, 20 times in the clan, and no one could 3-star it with Bow Witch. So whether that was a legit war attack or a dodgy one, or just a fluke, we will never ever know. But the point of that is, if you have a base and it can be 3-starred by Bow Witch, so you put it into war and it gets 3-starred by Bow Witch, really at that point, just scrap the base, because it's a strategy that a lot of Town Hall 10s can use. It's a strategy that I did some videos on a little while back, and I'll have to do some more specific Bow Witches after the update with the Siege Machine incorporated, because it seems to be an even more devastating attack now, because the old rules of what constituted a pretty good Bow Witch are a little bit slightly different. And when I say old rules, I'm talking in terms of what to look for in a base. Of course, this isn't a Bow Witch. This is a Queen Walk Bova, Valkyries and Bowlers, or whatever fancy name you want to call it, with a Siege Machine as well. Pretty sure there's going to be some Valkyries in the Siege Machine, so you're going to be bringing 17 of your own Valkyries plus Siege Machine Valkyries of 4 of them plus 3 barbs. Of course, your Valkyries run all the way through the base, so it kind of protects the Siege Machine a little bit in this case. Like you can see here, the Siege Machine is still going, hasn't even got locked on. There we go, that Inferno's locked on now. Got a Rage, got a Skelly spell, still left to deploy. Be interesting to see where the Skelly spell gets dropped. There we go, we've got a Giant and some Bowlers came out of the Siege Machine, so haven't seen that really too often. Basically have seen Golems, Giants and Bowlers, and of course the standard 4 Valkyries and 3 Barbs, which are dropping that Rage just as the Siege Machine pops, so that you can get the Rage Valkyries and whatnot to come through the base. So you've got 3 Valkyries on the outside, you've got a couple on the inside, just taking a little bit of distraction. So, well, not from that archer though, so the Queen's ability is going to have to be used. And there we go. So now it's locked onto the Valkyries, and we've got the Queen shooting the wall, so the Valkyrie should run ahead. So that's protected the Queen from the archer shots, not that the Queen's needed. She's got very low health. Her other troops just ran forward and triggered that bomb, so that saved the Queen as well. And the Bowler on the left-hand side just took out the Wizard. Valkyrie's running around on the outside, and those couple of Valkyries should be able to clear that up. They'll clear that mess up pretty quickly, so that'll go down. Same, that Builder's Hut will go down one swipe. Boom, there it goes. It's just a couple little swipes from the Valkyrie now on these last 2 things. I'm not even sure if the Queen will make it by the time the Valkyrie destroys all the rest of this stuff. Valkyrie, most valuable player, taking all the glory, and oh yes, it did. So, nice little Queen Walk Bova from Hermit Hole. let's have a look at the statistics. We did have some 6-packs in this war. They were all Town Hall 9 6-packers, obviously. You had Your Mum, Lieutenant Dan, Garav, Sam, Sanka, and The Thing, which is my other Town Hall 9 that I have. Okay, so 48 attacks used versus 47. I already explained which ones of those were. So on, 45-1 versus 47, 3 lost. The scouting attacks usually. 19 3-stars versus 20. So it was all in the 3-stars of the 11s. I think if they 3-starred that 11 up there, they probably, Spider Legion probably still would have lost on percentage. I didn't do any calculations to see if that was the case, but I'm just guessing it was the case. So you've got the best attacks were number 12 and number 2. Not that you put really too much stock in those best attacks. So that is it. Recap for Spider Legion of the Spider Legion versus KORIDORAS war. That is NDL, no dip, amateur division. I got it right. That's what I was laughing at. Had to think for a second again. It's the amateur division. So again, like I always say with any of the attacks that you do see, make the troops up that you see and attack the same way that you see in these in friendly challenges in your own clan. So you really should be doing a lot of friendly challenges so you can get used to the troops, get used to how the troops work. So that's it for this recap. Thanks for sticking to the end. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.